Hi everyone. One last video for today. Um, I started making this LTC-4627 JS part when Gianluca was with me, and we kind of went one pin after the other one um, in series, right? So it's not by function. And you see what happens if you look at the original picture. I would have to connect pin 21 to 14. And then if I go back, sorry, if I go back to the project, pin 22 goes to 16 and pin 23 goes to 13. And then pin 24 goes to 3 all the way down. So this is going to be a complete mess. So I actually don't think this is the proper way to do it. I really think we need to put this one by functions. So it requires to do it a little bit differently. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this down. And I'm going to start over. So the same as for the other part that we did, we're going to take it and we're going to save to our workspace. I'm going to keep it in LED. It is a display, but it's a 7-segment LED display. So I'm going to say okay. I'm going to get the over here. And I'm going to get this for the symbol, and it's really not what we want. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to so what I can do here, I can do two things. I can edit the model, make a copy, shared, edit. I'm going to cancel that. I could do that and just delete this and start over, but I can also, what I can do is I can remove it and I get a blank slate. Um, I think it's better to get a blank slate than to work with something that's already there. If the symbol is almost the right thing, then yeah, we can use it. But in this case, it was so far from what we needed that I decided to go with a clean slate. So we're going to go with a wizard to try to get a new symbol. And it's actually doing a little bit of what I did earlier. So it gives me already a chip with 16 pins. They're all inputs, and some of them on the left, some of them on the right. I can do a few things. I can say inline, it's already there. It's on all on one side. And we already know that we want to group them a little bit. So if we look again at the project, we know that the letters A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and D, P, we want them to be together. And that's actually the letters. Um, oh, actually, pin 1. No, that's not letter. Sorry. Let me remove that. Let me go back and get the project. So what I'm going to try to do is, let's see if we can. Okay. So pin 1 is actually it's part of the selector. So I'm going to say selector. Pin 2 is also in the selector. So it selects which digit gets displayed. Pin 6 is also a selector. And pin 8 is also a selector. Great. Then I have pin 14 as the, let me put, just let 13 is letter. 12 is not connected. 14, I've already put it. 16, 15 also. 11 also. So I paused the recording so I could skip a little bit. You don't need to see me do it. I put letter for all of these. Pin 4, I could also put letter because it is kind of some dots that are there. But for this project, I don't use it. Okay, let me put it still because it is important for maybe next time it is being used. And you see pin 9, 10, and 12, they're actually pins that are not connected. So we'll deal with that in a few minutes. Now, one thing that I did is I also downloaded the data sheet. And I looked here at the pins. Actually, downloading the data sheet really caused me problems. So I went to the data sheet directly on Octoparts, and I was able to copy all of this table, and I put it in an Excel sheet. Actually, no, I did that at first, but wasn't working. So I put it in a WordPad, not WordPad, in a notepad. I took some of the stuff that I didn't want to see. Digit 1, digit 2, I took out some anode. I forgot to take cathode out. Let me show you if I still have it. No, if I do it now, I'm going to miss out something. So I'm going to keep here, and I'm also going to remove cathode. So I'm just going to leave the D. So here, Control F, bring it down, replace by nothing, replace, 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 replace. Okay, good. I also added a semicolon, and you'll see why that's necessary. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to do Control C to copy it. And I'm going to come over here. And if you see up here, I have Smart Paste, Control Shift V. So I'm going to do Control Shift V. It brings it in here. I put that semicolon on purpose. I say my delimiter between my lines are actually the semicolon, and it separates, and I can say digit, it is actually the display name. So I'm going to paste, and all of a sudden in my display name, I have everything over here, which is really cool. You'll see in a moment. Right now, you don't see it, but you will see it in a moment. So I think I have everything, or almost. This electrical type is important. And if you know what they are, it is important to put it. Because that's how Altium does the ERC check, right? If it's an input and you don't put anything there, it's going to want to know why. So these aren't inputs. These are actually not connected. So I'm going to put them as passive. The other ones should all be connected, except for us, we're not using pin 4. So you'll see it'll probably give us an error, but we can say, don't worry about this one and go on. Okay, so let's say okay. And we have this right now. So in properties, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all the pins. I'm going to go back to properties. And for the name, I'm going to say, please display it. So you see, you have all the displays. D, E, F, G, A. Okay. It would have been interesting to have these in a different order. So we really need to reorder these, and we want to reorder them in the same order that they are over here. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then D, P. And I guess L1, L2, and L3 will do it at the end. So it's as simple as picking up the piece and moving it around. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the recording and do it off camera. So now that they're all in order, it kind of makes sense and we'll be able to connect them easy. There are a few other things we can look at here. In properties, do I have something selected? So we have the designator. So the designator is what it's going to be called. So if it was a chip, we would call this U question mark. For the display, I don't really know if there is a set display, but I put display question mark and it'll show up as that. Description, 4-digit 7. Very good. But here we can go to the pins and do a little bit more work on the pins. So here we can edit from here. And we're going to we're going to leave it in the designator there. I'm going to put it like this. And you see where there's no connection? I'm actually going to remove it. I don't even want to see it. No pin. I'm going to remove it. I don't want to see it. And there's one more, other one, 12. I'm just going to remove it. And I'm going to press OK. And then those pins at the top that were there just disappeared. So it gives us a little bit more room, or we can bring this down a little bit. And we have our part. So from here, we want to save, Control S. We have the data sheets over here. We're not going to save to server yet because we don't have the footprint. So we're going to go over here. We're going to go to the wizard footprint. And let's see what it gives us. So here we are looking for a dual inline chip. And this is not it because all of these are pretty much surface mount. So that's not the one we're looking at. We're going to go for new. And we're going to go to footprint wizard over here. And with the footprint wizard, we can say next, and we have the dual inline package next. In imperial, so mils or millimeters, whatever. I know that the data sheet, at least one of the data sheets we have, it's right here. It was in mils in the other one that I saw, and this one it is in inches, not in mils. So 0.4 inches, it's actually 400 mils. So since this is a more round number, I'm going to go with mils for the description. So dual inline package. Next, it's asking me how I want the pad to look. So I know this one is actually a little bit elongated. So it seems nice. I've seen what it looks like. We can maybe alter it if you want it bigger. The pad's bigger, you can at this point. So we said the distance, let's go back. The distance here between the two rows is 0.4, so 400. So we're going to come here and 400. And here it says 100, so 0.1 between each. So let's go back to the data sheet. And here it's telling me the whole distance over here is times 7.7. So takes a little decoding here, but this is actually 100 mils. The pins are center to center, 100 mils away. So this is actually what is here. So we're going to leave it. We say next. Type of value, outline width. I want to see what happens if I put 100 mils here. Do we see a difference? We don't see a difference right now. We would see a difference after we say finish. Let's leave it there. Anyways, we're going to erase this part. So next, do we have 10 pins? No, we have 16 pins. 8 and 8 on each side. Perfect. Next, what do we want to call this? I want to call it 7 seg. Oops. 7 segments. Next, and I finish. Look at that. Okay, that's not what I was expecting to do. I was expecting it to be higher. Anyways, this we're deleting. So this was actually the thickness of the wire that it wanted. Okay, so this is what we have. What we need to add afterwards is the surrounding box right here. Okay. This surrounding box, we have the width and the length of it. So we need to make a box around it that looks like this. So I'm looking at the size here, 1.582 inches. So I'm going to take the liberty to make that just a little bit bigger. 1.6 inches. And over here, it's 0.504. The 04 is not going to make much of a difference, so I'm going to go with 0.5. Come back to my drawing. I set my grid over here. I set it at 50 mils, so I could actually do, no, I'll leave it at that, 1.6 by 0.5. Okay. And I know that we have trouble really seeing how to align this. So I'm going to start my rectangle. I'm already on the top overlay. I did that before. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start my drawing over here, and I'm going to go down from the origin. So now I know I'm at 500 mils for the width, and I'm going to go down until I get 1.6. That's quite big. Okay. And well, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the middle point should be somewhere between 4 and 5. I'm going to escape. I'm going to select this and I'm going to move it around. And the middle part usually has a little midpoint dot. So I know I'm still not high enough. Whoa, what just happened? Okay. Right there. I'm gonna move it still 2 up. Again, 1 more. No, 1 down. There you go, between 4 and 5. So I'm assuming that I'm centered. I'm pretty centered over here. I could, if I wanted, put something to tell me where is pin 1. So I'm going to put a little full circle. Oh, this is going to want it to be pretty big. Yeah, I can't do something in between, huh? And that won't help me. So I'm going to escape. I'm going to escape again. I'm going to view and talk. Sorry, view. Set my global. I'm in millimeters because sorry guys. So set global instead of 50, I'm going to put 5. Now I'm not going to see the grid anymore because it's so small. I can see it now as I'm zooming in. And I'm going to place a circle and I'm going to put it close to pin 1. And there you go. I think that's big enough to know that's pin 1 when it comes in. So that looks pretty good to me. So let's Control save. Go over here and let's see if I did an okay job or if I have some errors. Okay job. So 7 segment. Okay. Now I will have 2 of them in there because I did one when I was with Gianluca that was awful, this one. So now I can delete this one. Components, seg, and it finds because there's 2 of them. And I can take a look at their models, and this is the one I want to keep. So the other one I can just delete. There you go. So now I have this one. Oh no, tell me I didn't delete the wrong one. Guys, I just deleted the wrong one. Okay, you know what to do. Don't delete the wrong one. It's 11 o'clock. I'm heading out. Good luck. See you on Wednesday morning.